June 2019. June 2019. Number 36. We're ready to do part B that we ended yesterday in class on. All right, first time you're going to need this. Formula is not on the formula sheet. You're going to have to know. Let's get it out. Let's get it out. Should already be organized in your binder. Let's get it out. Okay, in that sheet, you should see some blanks starting with number 13. Okay, you should see some blank areas starting with formula number 13. I try to add to it every year, but sometimes I forget formulas, so you're about to write down the next formula that needs to go in there. All right, everyone see where I'm at? Number 13, ready to go? This problem we're about to do in the Regents deals with if two events are independent or not. So we're going to write down the formula for if they are independent. Ready? If A and B are independent. This is what you're writing in your formula sheet. It's got to work in the following formula. Ready? What's that notation? Probability of A. So whatever the probability of one event is, times the probability of B, the other event. So once I multiply those two fractions together, if they are independent, it's going to be the same fraction as the probability of, anybody remember that from 2 units ago? A and B, yes. And I'll even use the symbol here, the upside down U. Make sure you make a little note. That's the and symbol. So it's going to be a fraction times a fraction. Is that equal to the fraction I find on this side? If these two sides are equal to each other, those two events are independent. Good? Okay, here we go. Let's go back to the problem then, so we can fill this in to test if it is or not. What are my two events? What's A? What's B here? Tell me here. What's one event I'm testing? Okay, so you don't have to write this down, but ready? Probability Felipe wins. FW, Felipe wins. That's what I'm showing you. Times, what's the other event I'm testing it with? Long practice time. So there are a probability for Felipe wins times the probability that there's a long practice time should equal, if they are, the probability of what? He wins and there's long practice time. You guys got to help me now find the probability of all three. All right, using your chart. Okay, here you go. Look up at your chart. Ready? Felipe wins. Felipe wins. Look at your chart. How many times does he win? Out of 22 out of 45. Everyone all right where that fraction's coming from? Times. What's the probability I'm going to have long practice time? 27 out of 45 is equal to, now I find the intersection. Intersection. Felipe wins long practice time. Find where they intersect. How many times? Felipe wins long practice time. 12 out of? Still out of? 45. Guys, do we know how to figure out if these are equal or not? Because that's what you're doing. You're saying, I don't know, are they equal? Go to your calculators right now. We all have the calculators. Fraction template right now. 22 over 45 times 27 over 45. Hopefully your calculator gives you another fraction back. Let's go. Use the calculator. Because I'm not answering questions 2 weeks from today. How do I use this? Hopefully all of us are getting, get my workout here. Something over 75. 22 over 75? Is that what we're getting on the calculator? Yes. Okay. Is that equal to 12 over 45? All right, you can tell me no or yes, but I got to know how I do it. How do I figure out if those two are equal or not? And don't tell me because they look different. Okay, make them decimals. Make them decimals, or the other way is you could cross multiply and see if they're equal. All right, make them decimals, and you'll see that they come close, but not exact. Okay, so if they're not the same, are they independent or not? The only way they're independent is if they equal each other. Did they equal each other? No, so we say they are not independent. They have to be equal to each other. Left and right side have to be equal. Anything you want to ask there? Okay, last night I suggested those 6 problems. You know where the answers are with work. You know how to get video solutions described to you. All right, I get it. Sometimes that might still even be a struggle. So I'm going to open it up now for questions for me on those 6. I am not, though, going to answer a question because you didn't try them. And now you're just looking at them saying, oh, that looks pretty hard. Don't waste my time. Don't waste your classmates' time. All right, I want legit questions because you really struggled with it and need a different explanation. That's what this time is for. All right, not because you didn't try it. And by the way, if you didn't try anything last night, you're basically just packing it in. Wave the white flag now. Okay, good luck on those 26 points. You're on your own now. All right, I'm done. All right, let's go, Devin. 21. Here we go, everyone. 21. Okay, here we go with 21. What's an equation of this graph? Eventually. Okay, I want that to stay there. Okay, we're ready. Here we go. Okay, what's the equation of that graph? What are these called again where they cross the x-axis? Roots. Any other names? Zeros. Any other names? Solutions. Okay, so I know in this problem, x equals, give me a place where it crosses. X equals negative b. X equals negative c, and what's the other answer? X equals a. So there are my solutions. How do I know they're solutions? That's where it crosses the x-axis. I'm going to ask you guys to go backwards now because I got to try to make them look like this, the multiple choices. If x equals negative b is at the end, that's my answer. What must have been the previous step inside the parenthesis then? The opposite. That's what you guys have been doing since Algebra 1. Just take the opposite. So x plus b. What would have had to have been in this one? X plus c. And over here, x minus a. And everyone's like, oh, got it. Choice 1. Nope. No. This is what stinks about it. All right, all these little slight things that could throw you off and deny you another 2 points. Why is it not choice 1? Here's why. Look at where this is right here. Do you see how it just touches the x-axis? Versus these two here, that just cut right through. When it just touches the x-axis, that's telling you that answer happens twice. So that requires a squared if it happens twice. Okay? If it cuts right through like A and negative B do, yes, it happens once. But look at negative C, just touches. All right, it just touches it. All right, I don't know if your teacher used a vocab term last year, but it's just tangent to it. Just touches it once. So that's why I needed a squared there, and that's why my answer is choice 4 versus choice 1. Okay, everyone good? Anything else we got to dig deeper in here? Anything else we want to dig deeper in? If not, I got plenty more problems we got to try out as a group. Last call. Okay. Here we go. I'm not going to fight it. I've said my piece already the last couple of days. All right, here we go. Number 3. We're going to stay with this exam one more day tomorrow and then go to a new one. I don't want to actually do this one. I just want to know how you would attack it. Question number 3. I want to know what the solutions are. What do you want to do? Okay, one way. All right. There's other ways. I'm not 3x plus 6 equals x plus 4 squared minus 10, and you go from there and try to solve for x. That's one way, yeah. Here's what I'm going to be careful on. Don't be an embarrassment. What are you going to do there? X plus 4, x plus 4. You are not going to just go, oh, hi, x squared 16. No, I don't know how you got that far if you're here, if you do that. Okay. Yes, I'm not going to do this all the way, but yes, x plus 4, and then you double distribute it with another x plus 4, and then once you combine your like terms, you minus 10. Okay, that's one way to do it. There's some other ways, go-arounds, Ben. What do you mean? Go ahead, tell me what you mean.
Like plug in.
So choice one, I got negative 5, 9. What do you want me to do?
Plug negative 5 in for x.
And see if it equals?
Yeah.
And see if it equals what? What's your y?
Negative 9.
See if that works. If it is, it's a solution. Do the same thing with 5 and 21, 0 and 6. See if they're solutions or not. But again, I will just warn you when you do this, you may get a good one here, but this one also has to work for it to be a solution. It's got to work in both. Just getting you one doesn't make you the winner. Okay? Everyone good there? Okay, how I would approach that one? Plug in the solutions. It's got to work in both, or actually try to solve it. Your call. There is a third way. Graph it. There you go. We did this already, 5th period. Graph it. How can you tell me where they intersect? I need to know those points. This is knowing your calculator now. Where do you go on the calc? Okay, you could go to second table and see where the y values are the same. Or you could go second, trace, intersect, get that sucker as close as you can to the point of intersection, enter 3 times, and it'll come up with one of the solutions. Okay. The only thing I get nervous about, and I'm actually kind of surprised that the test did this for you. Most of the time what they do is you can see one solution and the other solution's legit like way up here. And you got to keep scrolling, and kids only think there's one solution because that's all they see on their grid. All right, but be careful. Okay, everyone good on that? Different ways of solving it. We just went over 3 different ways. All right, I'm going to number 8 now. One's false. Suggestion on what you can do even though you have no idea how to change an exponent into a radical. Plug in non-zero and ones. Everyone right? Plug in non-zero and ones for x. The only concern I have, I was hoping somebody would say that. Do you know how to do that on your calculator? 4th root. A lot of this is knowing your calculator. You hit your math button, most of you. Make sure you can do this. Make sure you know how to do this right now. You hit your math button. Mine would be choice 5. I know, I can plug in 4. If you can't plug in 4, that means you got to put the 4 in before you hit your math button. So make sure you know how your calculator works there. That's why I'm saying if you are using your own calculator, get it here every day so you know what to do on yours. All right, everyone fine how to do the 4th root? All good? Okay, I'm not doing it that way. Yes, you can plug in numbers. Go ahead. That's fine. We got it. No shame in that, by the way. No shame. Let me take number 2 real quick. I want to go through algebraically how to actually figure out if that's true or not. What's the exponent rule? I have an exponent. I'm raising it to another one. What do I do with the 2? Multiply. So everyone right now, 3 times a 4th on your calculator. 3 times a 4th. 3 times a 4th? 3/4. So how am I going to turn x to the 3/4 into a radical or not? We got to have this ability in 2 weeks. Please go to number 12 on the formula sheet that you need to know. Formula sheet, not on the formulas, not on the reference sheet. Number 12, everybody. Okay, notice how we're turning them back and forth now. Okay, the index is the denominator. Index is the denominator. Numerator is the exponent. All right, so x automatically goes inside. Now you got to figure out what goes here, what goes here. Okay? Exponent over index, e over I. So what's my exponent that should go on the x? 3, the numerator. And what's my index? The denominator, 4. Okay? Again, exponent over index. That's where the numbers go. Okay, that's where the numbers go. So that one wouldn't be, I know I have it circled, but that's not the choice because we're looking for the false one. Okay? Got to know. I know you're saying, well, why the heck do I need to know this? Because I could just plug in numbers. On this one you can, but there's a part 2 or 3 that we got to do, or you're going to do on your own later, that you need to know how to do that. So, questions? Ask now. We're all good? Okay. Actually, you know what? I don't feel comfortable. Number 3. Number 3. That'd be x to the what? Use your calculators. Let's go. Use them. Use them. Staring's not going to help you. 3/2 to the 1/2. That'll be x to the 3/4. Yep. So it's going to be the same thing. X to the numerator. Index is your denominator. Questions? Okay. Let's keep grinding. Yeah, 13. Oh, man. Guys, my blood pressure is just starting to come down after grading those stats tests. Just starting to come down. All that effort you guys put into it. Yeah. There's a lot going on there. Here, it's pretty simple. I gave you the mean for this simulation. I've given you the standard deviation for this simulation. What I want is a plausible interval containing the middle 95%. Anybody want to reword that question for me? What's the confidence interval? That's it. you're doing this type of problem with somebody else on your own, is the confidence interval on the reference sheet that will be on the Regents. Nope, nope. Oh, but guess where I put it? On the formula sheet you need to know. You can go there right now. It's there for number 11. I don't know how you could forget it, but some of you definitely did on the test. Not too sure why, but hey, whatever. I got other things to focus on, right? Okay, confidence interval, what is it? Mean plus or minus. It's not the standard deviation like some of you thought on the test. It's the margin of error. Remember how we wrote MO all the time? That doesn't stand for standard deviation. Okay? What's the mean? Literally given to you, right? 0.254 plus or minus, not the standard deviation. How do you find margin of error? Let's go off to over here. Margin of error, plus or minus 2 times, which would be 0.060. And that's what? Plus or minus 0.120. That's what goes here, everyone. Not your standard deviation. Okay, seriously, because some of you guys couldn't. What to do now? Because you couldn't on the test. You do 2.254 minus 0.120, and then you do 0.254 plus 1.20. Those two numbers make up your confidence interval. Go right ahead. That's it. That's it. Basically, the people are making the test. You're like, oh, you're breathing. Here's 2 points with this question. That's it. These are things we got to get. Can't afford to lose this one. You're getting what? 0.134 to 0.374, I hope. Anything other than, holy geez, if I just know the formula, I'm okay. Oh boy, 28. Going back to our trigonometry days. Okay, tangent 7 over 24. It terminates in quad 3. What's cosine? So yep, we already have our quadrant set up. Somebody told me to do that 5th period, set up your quadrants. What quadrant am I in? Do you know where that quadrant is first? I got to take baby steps here. Got to crawl before you walk. Bottom left, yep. And we know tangent is 7 over 24. Anybody from that unit, what did we always set up in the quadrants we were in? Okay, AST, we had ASTC, which at least would tell me, if anything, my answer should be what? Positive or negative? What are you guys finding?
Negative.
What are you guys finding? Cosine. What do I know about cosine in the third? It's negative, so at least I know my final answer is going to be negative. All right, how do I get there? What do you know about tangent? Opposite over adjacent. But you got to have a what to have an opposite and an adjacent? Oh, a triangle, right triangle. Bow tie. Here we go. All right, we're building now. That will tell you what your right triangle in the third quadrant should look like. Right there. And you guys said tangent was equal to what? One more time for me, kids. Opposite over adjacent. Got it. The angle we always go from is this angle. Oh boy, I'm going to really smoke some heads here. Anybody remember what that angle was called? This angle here. One more time for your classmates. Reference angle. Reference. Formed by this side and the x-axis. Fine. All right. Where am I putting the 7? Opposite. Right? Where am I putting the 24? This is why this is tricky. No. No. Come on.
Oh, I got you. Negative 24.
Why?
Because we're in the
I'm on this side of the x-axis and this side of the y-axis. Yep. And we're looking for cosine. Cosine's equal to what now? Well, the adjacent's easy for me. I already know that. What's that? Negative 24. The only side I'm missing is? Okay, and what can I use to find the hypotenuse? Pythagorean theorem. Please make sure you put the negatives in parentheses in your calculator, or we're going to be toast. Okay. Let's see if we can all agree on the hypotenuse length. So what are we looking at for C? Yep. So there is, that's it. That's all we need to see there, negative 24 over 25. Questions? Okay, I'm going to do this. This will be the last one because this is where I got 5th period today. And then I'll let you do some of the problems I'm suggesting on your own. This one's a tougher one. Okay, this one's a tougher one. When I divide some p of x by x minus 1, first thing I got to talk about is, we know what that word means, the quotient. When you divide, it's your answer. So basically it's saying when you divide something by x minus 1, here's the answer. What's that something? Okay, what's that something? That's what it's asking for. So what did you divide by x minus 1 to get that? We're going to set up an equation. Okay? What am I trying to find? P of x. And what am I doing to P of x, kids? Okay, so how can I show that? Over x minus 1. Everyone all right? So I'm taking that. Hey, here we go. Over x minus 1. The answer. Here we go. Okay, got to get this bad boy all by itself. Need that by itself, right? Because that's what I'm solving for. So how are you going to get rid of the x minus 1? What do you want to do? No. Yeah. Most of you guys got it. What are you going to do? Multiply each side by x minus 1. All right, let's do it. So this will just give you p of x down here, right? Okay, you ready for this right side? Everything's going to get multiplied by x minus 1. Okay, everything inside. So I'm going to take this step by step with you. Ready? X squared is going to get multiplied by x minus 1. The 7 is going to get multiplied by x minus 1. And the 5 over x minus 1 is also going to get multiplied by okay. I'll let you guys take over. What do you got for me here? What happens here? Why? Okay, good. Yell. I like it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And this is only a 2-pointer. What do you got for me? There's only 2 things I could simplify. Real quickly, go back to the directions. It says p of x has got to be in. Okay, do you know what that means? What is it? Exponents have to go in order. So if they weren't, I'd have to rearrange them. But luckily for us, they were. Okay? Questions there? Standard form means exponents have to go from greatest to least. What I just wanted to find p of x. That was it. Okay? That was it. Don't do anything else. So remember, it's only how many points too? 2 points. That's it. Shouldn't be going nuts on the 2-point question. All right? Shouldn't be going nuts and doing all the factoring afterwards for 2 points. Okay, here's the ones I'm going to suggest and the ones you can get going right now. I'm going to actually cross out because we've already done some of these. I know 15 and 18 I've asked you to do. 21? Okay, so 19 or 1929 for everyone that's up to date. If not, you guys still have those 3 extra ones too. So here we go. Let's get going. If you have your Chromebook, hey, get in this habit. Get out your Chromebook. Open up the answer key. Let's get going because I don't want you to do problems where you have no idea if they're right or wrong. Got your Chromebook on you? Okay, I'll show you all the resources I put up there. Open up the June 2019 exam. You can have video solutions or work shown. It's up to you.